Happy last day of July, everyone! It was my birthday yesterday and I cooled off by the pool and went to see Barbie. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. I'm Stella Chung, and in today's fix, Nintendo's next-gen console is set to launch late next year. We have your weekend wrap-up of everything announced at Final Fantasy XIV FanFest, and someone beat Elden Ring with an electric saxophone. Let's get to it. Presented by Pringles. Okay, start saving your pennies now because Nintendo's next-gen console is reportedly set to launch in the second half of 2024. Sources told VGC that development kits for the unannounced new console are now with partner studios and that the release window for the later half of 2024 is to give Nintendo enough time to ensure plenty of product stock for launch. Just like the current Switch, this next-gen console can be used in portable mode with an LCD screen instead of the newest OLED screen. But it still comes with a cartridge slot for physical games, so if you prefer physical copies of games, you're in luck. But we have no idea if Nintendo Switch games will be playable on the new console with backwards compatibility. I would really hope so, since a lot of players, including me, have a ton of Switch games we'd like to keep playing even on a new console. I personally have sunk way too much time into Tears of the Kingdom and Animal Crossing New Horizons, so I would hate to lose the ability to play it on the new console. Earlier this year in May, Nintendo did state that the next console wouldn't release until April 2024 at the earliest. Shuntaro Furukawa, Nintendo's president, also stated that they weren't considering new hardware in the 2023 to 2024 financial year, which ends March 31st, 2024. So all of the previous statements line up and make sense, especially since the Switch would be 7 years old next year. The time between the Wii U and Switch releasing was about 5 years apart, so the Switch is definitely due for an upgrade soon. The new console is supposed to offer boosted graphics like the PlayStation 4 and Pro model, but there's no official information about the next Nintendo console. What do you think the next console is going to be called? The Switch 2? The Flip? Or do you think it's just a Switch Pro? Over this weekend, Square Enix held its Final Fantasy XIV FanFest in Las Vegas. If you were busy this weekend and couldn't watch the announcements, don't worry, we've got your FanFest wrap-up right here. The biggest news of the event was the reveal of 7.0 and the new expansion, Dawn Trail. It will follow the Warrior of Light, you the player, setting off in the new world called Tural. The new expansion almost has Monster Hunter World setting vibes and looks like a great change-up from the previous expansions. It's like a little tropical vacation. Dawn Trail will also bring in a big graphical update with lots of visual enhancements that will be seen in the new expansion and previous ones. Basically, there are just a lot of higher resolution textures and shadows that'll be implemented in the new expansion and then get rolled out eventually to previous expansions. There's also going to be an updated dye system and better material quality visuals, but we will never, ever forget those cute, ugly, blocky grapes, which were actually a collectible item in the FanFest goodie bags. Okay, then here's the weirdest mashup ever to come to Final Fantasy and Fall Guys. So Final Fantasy characters are going to be available as skins in Fall Guys, and also Fall Guy levels are going to be available to play in Final Fantasy at some point. So, a little weird, but might be fun. Then, in the biggest news for FanFest, Square announced that Final Fantasy XIV is coming to Xbox consoles after years of being a PlayStation exclusive. Well, not including PC. Final Fantasy XIV game director Naoki Yoshida, or Yoshi P, welcomed Xbox head Phil Spencer on stage with Square Enix CEO Takashi Kiryu to celebrate the announcement. Spencer said, "We deeply respect the rich legacy of Square Enix and we look forward to building on the relationship that we've established in bringing Final Fantasy XIV to the Xbox, and partnering closely with you and the Square Enix team on future games." This is huge news for Xbox gamers. I had a big stint where I was obsessed with Final Fantasy XIV, and I don't even like MMO games. But Final Fantasy XIV is the best MMO I've played in years, and I'm honestly so glad more people get to enjoy it on a new platform. Final Fantasy XIV is one of those games that feels really, really good, maybe even better on a controller, and that's coming from me, an almost exclusive PC player. You can try Final Fantasy XIV for no extra charges by signing up for its trial, which is actually getting updated so you can play through Stormblood for free. So to put that into context, that's 3 different expansions you can play through without spending a single dime. And this expanded trial is coming to Xbox as well in September. There hasn't been any official dates stated for this change, but the updated trial will be launching before Dawn Trail's expansion launch. In some fun news, Twitch streamer Dr. Decomposing has just beat Elden Ring without taking a single hit, while using an electric saxophone as a game controller. Honestly, just beating Elden Ring is a feat of its own, but we've seen so many talented gamers taking to using Guitar Hero controllers, DDR dance pads, 3 bananas, and a harp to beat the game. Dr. Decomposing posted on Twitter that he was the first completionist of the world's no-hit run of Elden Ring using a non-traditional controller. He called this the hitless dude run and completed the game in only 2.5 hours. Dr. Decomposing's channel revolves around him using his digital wind instrument, the Roland AE10 Aerophone, to beat other games. He's beaten other Soulsborne games like the Dark Souls trilogy, Bloodborne, and Demon Souls remake using this instrument and avoiding any deaths. I still can't get over the fact that he beat the game with no deaths, no hits, all in just 2.5 hours. That's wild. Are you going to be buying the new Nintendo console as soon as it drops? Or are you more excited that Final Fantasy XIV is coming to Xbox? Let us know. Now that you're all caught up on the news, check out our biggest game releases of August 2023 so you can make sure you don't miss out on any of the upcoming games for next month. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube and Snapchat and follow us on all of your social media. I'm Stella Chung, keep on gaming, and I'll see you next time.